Welcome to Lesson 2, Modifying Objects. In this lesson you're going to learn how to create shapes and then modify them using this command toolbar: eraser, copy, mirror, offset, move, rotate and so forth. So just as you would use a normal eraser, you'd pick on this one here. It also gives you a number of other options to move lines around the page, copy lines around the page so that you don't have to redraw them. Alright, from paper space we want to come down to our model tab, click into model space and start to draw. Zoom in, draw a rectangle number 1, 50 by 60 millimeters. So I'm going to go up to my pens, very first thing I need to do, drop down and choose object. Select the object and choose the rectangle icon. Over here I'm going to start from the bottom left hand corner, left click and then pull up a rectangle. Now the way I'm going to get a 50 by 60 millimeter rectangle is if I type in down in the command prompt area down here at 50, 60. So that's at 50, 60, which means I'm going to go 50 from where I've first clicked, 50 millimeters to the x-axis, which is left and right, and 60 millimeters on the y-axis, which is up and down. Press enter and there's my 50 by 60 mil rectangle. Number 2, draw a circle with a radius of 30 millimeters. Click on a circle, come into the area. I'm going to pick the center, left click. Now it says down in the command prompt, specify radius of circle. I'm going to type in 30 and enter. And there's my circle with a radius of 30. Number 3, draw a triangle inside a R30 circle. So to draw a triangle I need to choose the polygon tool, click on polygon, and it tells me to enter the number of sides. So there's 3 in a triangle, 3, enter. Specify the center. I'm going to make that my center point, left click. And then it asks me if I want it inside a circle or about a circle, around a circle. And we want to do it inside a circle, so I'm going to type in I, enter, and then it asks me to specify the radius of the circle, and we know that that's 30, so type in 30 and enter. And there's my triangle inside a R30 circle. Number 4, draw the following shape from the start. I want you to pick the line tool, click on the line tool, and the starting point is going to be inside the little circle at the end of that line. So I left click and I want to go 40 to the right, 15 up, 15 right, 30 up, 55 left and 45 down. That's what the letters are standing for. To go right and to go 90 degrees right, I need to click on the ortho toolbar down the bottom here. Make sure that's pressed and now I can draw up, down, left and right only. Come to the right and type in 40, and that means I'm going to go 40 millimeters with my line to the right. 15 millimeters up, so make sure I've got my cursor pulling the line up, and I type in 15, enter. 15 right. If I was to accidentally go and put my cursor to the left and type in 15 and enter that, it's not the way that I want it to go, but it's easy to get rid of. I just hit Control Z, undoes that command, and I can go and do it the other way. 15, enter. 30 up, 55 left, and 45 down, and enter. Number 5, fillet the rectangle on the left side corners and on the right. So on the left side corners, I want a rectangle fillet of 10, or radius of 10, and on the right hand side I want a radius of 20 on both of those corners. Fillet's just a fancy word for curving edges. The fillet tool is found in the modifying taskbar. Pull down the list and you should see it down the bottom. It says there fillet. Undo. click your object and click again. It does nothing because I didn't specify a radius. To get back into the command again, I press enter, and this time I look down on my command area and it says radius is set at 0. We want to type in R for radius like we would do a circle, and then it says specify the fillet radius, we say 10. Enter. Now I click on my object and I click on the corresponding line. Enter. Again, gets you back into that prompt. We want to do one more, so I click on the object and I left click on the corresponding line. Next we want radius of 20 on the other side of our object. So I enter going back into my fillet command. This time I type in R, enter, 20, enter. And I choose the 2 areas that I need to, like I did before. Number 6, draw a circle R20 from the midpoint of the line. Come and choose the circle command. Come over to my line and you'll see that there's a number of triangles, crosses and boxes that are appearing as I try and select something on my line. Now if you don't have these, you need to come down and turn on OSnap. If I turn OSnap off, object snap, I cannot snap to any part of that object. Make sure it's on and that I can find the one that says midpoint. If I can't find midpoint, I need to go to OSnap, right click and choose settings, and from here I need to make sure that midpoint is clicked on. Midpoint is that one there, and OK that. Now I can draw my circle from the midpoint and I type in R, enter, 20, enter. There I go, radius of 20. Number 7, copy the arc from the base point A, 30 right and 30 down. So I'm going to go to my copy command and I'm going to select my arc with a left click, and then I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to do this every time I try and modify something. I choose the command, I select the line and I press enter straight away. Now it's asking me down the bottom to specify the base point, and the base point is going to be from A, just down here where it says endpoint. Left click. Now I can take that object anywhere I like. At the moment I can only go left, right, up or down. If I turned ortho off, I could go anywhere I want. But we'll leave ortho on. We want to go 30 mils to the right, so I just go to the right, type in 30, enter, and then I can come down. I'm still picking the same object, 30 down, enter, and enter once more to finish that. So I've copied that object 3 times, or twice. Number 8, offset the line 10, 25 and 50 down. Now an offset is just creating that same object again on its parallel. I want to parallel that guy at 10 mils, then again at 25 mils, then again at 50 mils. I'm going to choose the offset command, and it says down the bottom, specify offset distance. We want 10 mil. So I type in 10 and enter, and then I come to my line, click on it, and then I specify the point on the side to offset. And this is the side I want to go to, so I just left click and press enter. Go back to offset because I need to do that twice more. Offset, this time distance is 25, enter. Pick my object and click to the side that you like. We're going down. If you were to go up, it would do this and it would create the line in here. We don't want to go that way, so Control Z and we do that again. Pick the object and offset it this side. Enter solidifies that. Offset 50, enter, pick the line and come to the side and enter. So there I've offsetted that line 3 times. Number 9, move the inside points of the triangles together. come to the Move tool, click on the Move tool, click on one triangle at a time. I'm going to start with this base one. Left click and you can see it's selected the whole object. You could also do a crossing window around the whole guy as well by left clicking and taking it in one direction and over the top. And there it is. Press enter. Specify the base point. Now the base point is just a point on that item that I'm going to move with. And I'm going to move that point there. And I'm going to drag it until it snaps to the end point of another object. And I simply move the next object. So enter takes me back into the move command, left click on the object, enter, click on the end point and drag and click. Number 10, trim the edges of the shape below. Come to the trim tool. If it's not up on your command area, or in your toolbar area, sorry, come down to the trim, drop down. From here, I want you to do a crossing window box around the whole object. Press enter and simply left click the pieces you don't need. Now I've just selected the wrong one. To deselect that or to undo that, I just press Ctrl Z and it comes back and I can continue selecting the pieces that I don't need. And enter, finishes that. Move and rotate the shapes to align neatly. Now I want one of these objects, which I'll take this one, to move into the bigger polygon, which is down here. So I'm going to first move this object, left click on it, press enter. I'm going to take it from its midpoint and I'm going to turn ortho off because I want to be able to freely move this guy. And I'm also going to take O-snap off as well, so I'm not snapping into a position at all. And I'm going to drop it in there. Now I'm going to rotate the outside one. Rotate, click on the object, press enter, find a point somewhere in the middle as your base point, and I can rotate around. If I didn't pick a central point and I tried to rotate that, watch what would happen. Click, enter, take a base point somewhere on its edge. I'm rotating around that axis point, and that's not what I really wanted to do. So we'll take the center point and we'll rotate it until it looks like it's going to fit, and there we go. Last one, number 12, mirror the head. From this one we need to choose the mirror tool, select, crossing window around Mr. Trainer's head, left click, press enter, and we need to have our O-snaps back on for this and our ortho back on. I pick a center point or an axis point for that mirror to occur, and I'm just going to pick the base of his face. And you can see now, whichever way I use my ortho tool, the face will go. If I didn't have ortho on, I could simply rotate this head and mirror that head in any angle I want, but I want to go straight to the right and left click once it's in place and erase source objects down the bottom. If I erased it, it would erase this side of his face and just keep the mirrored part. So I'm going to say no, I want to keep both parts. Click on your paper space tab, come up to the titles layer, zoom in on your name and date, double click, and enter twice. save into your technical graphics folder.